come back to us if you are a Republican, pre-MAGA, or Christian. Listen to this, and let's discuss below.
Growing up as a Republican and member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints during the Reagan era, I was totally raised to believe we had a monopoly on Christian family values. So who knew in midlife I would leave the Republican Party in order to stay aligned with those same values and principles of my faith? I know the Republican Party has long touted their alignment with conservative Christian family values, but after decades of world events, social change, both parties have inevitably changed, and the Republican Party today is not the one I grew up in. I don't know when the party of conservative family values morphed into a party that demonizes immigrants and applauds violently separating families, building for-profit detention centers and using masked agents to disappear grandparents, construction workers, housekeepers, and farmers in broad daylight for not having the right paperwork. I don't know when the party of law and order turned into a party that supports a convicted felon who instigated a coup on our Capitol and is now trying to cover up who knows what in the Epstein files while deploying the military into our peaceful neighborhoods to terrorize its people. I don't know when the party of fiscal responsibility became the party that supports a president who has accumulated another trillion in debt already and gives access to the presidency to the highest bidder. A man who has made billions off the presidency through everything from crypto to selling Bibles and golden tennis shoes. A man who tears down parts of the White House in order to build a golden ballroom that he will name after himself with money from big corporations and billionaires that will absolutely have strings attached. I don't know when the party of Christian family values decided it was okay to vote for a sexual predator, to take from the poor to give to the rich, and even flaunt it in the faces of the poor by partying on the eve of the day when tens of millions of Americans would lose access to food benefits. I don't know exactly when it happened and why anyone is still supporting it, but millions of Americans came out yesterday to say they are not okay with this brand of conservative Christian family values. People of faith and no faith, but of good conscience, came out yesterday to say no to authoritarianism, no to a party led by a man who posts AI videos of himself dumping feces on fellow citizens of the country he's entrusted to serve, no to discriminating against people based on the color of their skin, their accent, religion, or sexuality. And what did they say yes to? They said yes to what I would call the conservative Christian family values I grew up with, which include loving your neighbor, honoring the worth and dignity of every soul, sharing what you have, being a responsible steward of God's creations, taking in the stranger, feeding the hungry, giving to the poor, celebrating diversity, and supporting all families, not just the traditional ones. And yes, I know not everyone in my faith community sees it this way. I get that. But it's always been that way and it always will be. I've said it before and I've said it again. Our church members are not a monolith. But I'm here to encourage those of you in my church who feel alone in your political beliefs to know you are very much not alone. And I'm also here to invite and encourage anyone who might be finally seeing that this is not the Republican Party you grew up with, and Donald Trump is not a conservative Christian leader in any way, shape, or form, that you can pull your support anytime. You are not obligated to support this. It's okay at any point to say enough. I mean, who knows? Maybe in 10, 20, 50 years from now, the Republican Party will reinvent itself again. But the party doesn't matter anyway. It's principles and values that matter. And the principles of the gospel of Jesus Christ that our church champions are simply not found in today's Republican Party. Marginalizing and discriminating against trans people is not living the gospel of Jesus Christ. Deporting hardworking, tax-paying people with families who have lived in our country for decades simply because of a clerical error is not following Jesus. Saying you protect the unborn while supporting policies that actually hurt already living, breathing women and children is not the pinnacle of being Christ-like. And it's not freedom either. That is not what America has ever been about. Again, people of any faith worth its salt and people of no faith but of good conscience all believe in the same fundamental principles and values that make America truly great. Freedom, equality, opportunity, and prosperity for all, not just for the people who look, love, vote, and believe like you. So let's ride on this wave of hope we all feel from yesterday. Use it as fuel for the midterms next year, when I hope millions of Americans will come out once again to say no to discrimination and violent deportation, no to authoritarianism and fake Christian values, and yes to creating a world where everyone belongs, everyone has an opportunity for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.